Good morning. Welcome back to another Jedi Academy episode. I am Ranger J 1999, part of the RC crew. Welcome one and all to the Jedi Academy. What is the Jedi Academy, you're asking? Well, that's where we bring the best and the brightest of game changers and YouTubers all together and sprinkle in a little mental damage of RSG to answer all your Q&A or all your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. This is a Q&A show, and the way it works is if you have a question about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, all you need to do is put the question in chat. Make sure it's in the form of a question, or what we prefer is you put question in front of your statement or your question so that we know to scoop that up. And the way it works is Dr. Finn Medicine Woman, who is here. That's your
Howdy,
cue.
howdy.
Okay, good lord.
Yeah, no, it's my cue to hit unmute.
Yeah. So Dr. Finn is here, muting himself off and on, but he is here. He is going to participate. He is scooping up all your questions, and that's how you get your questions asked. And then we'll just kind of go around the corn, giving all of our awesome panel a chance to answer your questions. And let's introduce some of the people that are here already for the panel. We've got the one and oil, the big chief himself, Warrior Presents, is here.
What's happening, you guys?
What's going on? You get some coffee, have some donuts, getting ready to settle in first.
Coffee and me, I feel good, yeah.
And also joining us now stateside, serving in our United States Army, who the one and only King Felix.
Yeah, I had to go back to work on Thursday. It was rough.
Yeah.
But at least it's in America.
It's America. And until you get deployed again. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to happen. I can tell you. From personal experience. Now, Mike should be along soon. Mike will be here soon, but he's finishing watching his Formula One racing. So when he gets in here, if you guys want to give him our time about that, by all means, go ahead. And then, I don't know about Rima, he should be by. So, as people start trickling in, we'll go ahead and get started. But go ahead and get your questions in. Dr. Finn is busy scooping them up as we speak, and my computer's being ridiculous. So, I guess the big news we've been kind of covering, we put a video about this, is the new mods thing. Finn, you want to tell people about the mods, the video you put out?
Yeah, sure. So there was a post a couple days ago about the mods and the changes that are coming. And then yesterday, Top Hat posted an update to the mod changes that are coming. And the big thing that's coming as a result of that is that mods after the update are not going to level up the existing secondary stats first. They said they're going to roll all of the secondary stats first so you can see all four of them before they upgrade any of the existing one, which means that your green, blue, and purple mods, if you haven't leveled them up to level up your secondaries, are going to actually be almost like gold mods, where you get all four stats and then you only have a 25% chance to level them. So it's a good idea to start leveling up your green, blue, and purple mods up to level 3 if they're green, 6 if they're blue, and 9 if they're purple. And if you're worried about the credit cost, most of the credit cost happens in that 12 to 15 range. So if you're only going to 3, 6, and 9, you're saving very little if you're waiting until after the update. And speculation on my part, but I'm thinking that the credit changes to the leveling of the mods is probably going to happen at the same time as they release the slicing, which is also going to introduce the new mod system. So if you wait, you're potentially screwing yourself on the mods that you have if you don't level up blue, green, and purple. So that's kind of the change that they posted about.
All right, and you can check that out. What's on your mind this week, Warrior? What's been keeping you up late at night thinking of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes?
Not a whole lot's been keeping me up. I finally got caught up on my roster reviews on the 15th of last week. 100%, 0 roster reviews in the batch, and I'm like, yay, I get to focus solely 100% on my main channel. I'm so excited. And weird enough, over the last 6 days, I was on a trip to my corporate office for my personal work, and while I was on that 5-day trip, I had 9 people sign up for roster reviews, like random people. I'm not even kidding. I've never had in 6 days 9 people sign up in history. I have no idea, but there must be a massive influx of new people in the game. And so because of that, I am going to be going through my 4-pillar guide, pillar by pillar, and I'm going to be updating each pillar to the most current state of the game, and also explaining my rhyme to my reason for the pillar system. Some get it, some don't. And so currently I have 5,000 people that I know for a fact are actually using my pillar system for farming efficiency, and so that makes me pretty excited. And so we're gonna try to update that for all of those people. We even have like a Excel spreadsheet and everything. It's really fun. So that's been what's on my mind, is trying to update some of my older content, even though the older content's relatively new as of March of this year.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to get even more, we can trade you a Grande. He's a big deal, and you'll have more roster reviews than you know what you can do with. No? Okay.
No, thank you.
God, I wish we could say that too.
But, Dr. Finn, we have so many roster reviews for the big deal that we're still paying for. It will be paid for a while, even though he hasn't been on in a while. We're still catching up to that bastard. Damn. But we don't mind doing them. I enjoy doing the roster reviews because it really helps people out, you know. And the best thing is when someone comes back like, "Hey, I got number 1 in arena today," or
it feels good, and I enjoy it. The problem is doing those. It's my decision to either do those or do an actual video for my account. So what happened is I went like 2 weeks without a video. Then I put out like 3 videos over a weekend, like a week ago, and then for this last week I haven't done any videos again and I don't have any videos built for the next, this weekend. So like it's like this weird, like nothing for 2 weeks and then 3 videos and then nothing for 2 weeks and then 3 videos, because I'm in between jamming in roster reviews. So for me, it's a choice. I have to make one or the other. I can't do both. I don't have time to do 4 roster reviews and to do 4 videos for my main channel. And the 8 videos is it's too much for my schedule right now. So I was just hoping to get, some time to the main channel. But these new people that signed up, they can wait a little bit, man. They can wait a little bit. My main channel needs to get a little bit of love because it hasn't had a whole lot of love lately.
Yeah, I mean, we tell people all the time, listen, we'll be glad to do a roster review, but there's a queue, right? And because we get so many requests to do it, that have to be patient. And we'll let you know the day we're going to do your roster review. So, I mean, there's only so much time in the day, and there's so many of us, and there's way more of you. So, King Felix, what's keeping you up at night? What Star Wars Galaxy heroes right now, man?
Keeping me up at night. I am still trying to beat some of the Traya teams in arena with my my new spanking Jedi. That's a work in progress.
Word.
But other than that, I only have. I know we were talking about it before stream with the hard node farms, but I only have 3 left.
For now,
which are Holdo and Rose. That I care so much about.
Don't forget Bosk.
And Bosk is the one I actually care about. So those are only the 3 I have left. I just recently 7-starred my Wampa, which means I can use the Guild Events currency for gear now, which is nice. But now I'm just kind of wondering when they're going to release the rest of the KOTOR characters. That's what that and the mod slicing thing I'm not too stoked about at the moment.
Well, let's not talk about mods. I would get very angry. Very, very angry. Oh my god. I'm sure we'll get some questions about the mods, and then my anger will come forth. Alright. Yeah. Now the questions are coming in, so let's just start hitting them. Start with Warrior, and then... Well, there's just a couple of us. Start throwing questions.
Can I ask you a different question first before we jump into the SWGOH questions, Ranger?
What's that?
Can I ask you another, like a non-SWGOH question before we jump into those?
Sure.
We have 3 army people, so I don't know if everyone...
No. 2 army...
1 Navy.
One Navy.
Navy SEAL.
Okay.
Wait, just say military in the future.
Yeah, just say 3 military people. There you go.
I want to know more about those pancakes and French toast.
Well, that's just a Ranger School thing.
Okay. What are those pancakes? Like, what's so special?
Because they taste like manna from heaven, dude. They're homemade blueberry pancakes. I mean, think about this. You've been up in the mountains of Dahlonega, Georgia, in the Appalachians for 3 weeks, freezing, walking up and down mountains, carrying 200 pounds of gear, up and down, doing missions, and then you come back and the meal you get is blueberry pancakes. Not only would you, only because you haven't had solid food in for weeks, but then for some reason those blueberry pancakes are like heaven sent. I can't put it any other way. Every ranger who's ever had them, just you eat them and you're like, "Can I have some more?" And they're like, "Yep." And they're just making pancakes for you like madmen, and it's incredible. The French toast thing I know about. They did not have that when I was there because I graduated in 1999. That's a newer thing. I think it's something that somebody started there, but so I haven't had those. I'll have to go down to Eglin Air Force Base because the cool thing about being an ex-Ranger is you can show up and as long as you're part of the Ranger Association, you're good to go. But yeah, I would definitely. I'll have to try the French toast. You know what, Finn? I'll try to see if I can one day take you and let you try those.
As long as I don't have to climb mountains and stuff for it, yes.
Well, I think I'm gonna make you do a little rappelling and shit, but I think it's something you'll enjoy.
Oh, you gotta be busting my balls.
It's not. I'm not gonna sit there and just let you go in and eat something. You gotta earn it a little bit. Especially when you're surrounded by all those poor bastards that haven't eaten in days.
You just gonna walk up from the
Fat
street.
Finity runs in, is
Walk
like,
in with a suit.
yeah, he just runs in there's like, screw you guys. They're out there doing pull-ups to try to go eat, and you're just walking in like, nom nom nom. No, that is not how it's gonna work, Finn.
More pancakes.
Yeah,
These are really good. You guys should get some.
yeah.
Yeah.
Finn just sitting there with like 5 plates of food. And the physical beatdown will commence after the meal. Like, did you enjoy those pancakes? And I ain't gonna stop them, Finn. I'm just gonna let them hang you up.
Just film it.
Yeah,
Film it for the stream.
This is what happens when you get between a beast and its food. But yeah, those are really good. So let's get to some questions. Bad Rongo. I'm gonna go right to Warrior with this one because we were just talking about this. I am facing a lot of Treya-led Scion, Nihilist, Sith Trooper plus different characters in the 5th. What can I use to beat this team if I don't have Treya?
So, probably the most consistent team for a victory against Treya that I've seen on my personal leaderboard with real life mods versus real life mods, like not a perfect world, but real life, is actually still a Rex lead, surprisingly.
Yeah.
With Rex lead, most of them are using Wampa underneath Rex. Wampa is surprisingly very resilient, very durable. And he does a lot of damage, but you don't have to have Wampa. So if you're missing Wampa, that's okay. There's actually a ton of combinations that I've seen in the top 10 that climb up to the #1 slot. And they all consist of Rex lead, and then most of them are now using their Darth Nihilus and their Scion, because that's just a great, strong combination. And then it's like, General Kenobi and Thrawn. And if you have General Kenobi in there, he's pretty much always guaranteed to take the Isolate. And if they happen to be using a Thrawn, a lot of times he'll end up taking them both. And so that's a good thing. It's kind of a sad thing that the AI sometimes can't differentiate and choose 2 targets, but I've had it happen multiple times where he got fractured and then immediately, because he was still the highest health and protection character, get isolated after fractured. It's like, oh man, poor guy. But he's really great to absorb that kind of the brunt of the isolate for General Kenobi. And then your Thrawn gives you control, kind of puts someone on timeout while you're working on taking a specific character out. And then for the extra turn meter speed. And then, but I have seen people that are using Wampa. I've seen people use Han Solo just simply for the DPS output. So I've seen a number of combinations. Obviously, Mother Talzin doesn't have a place anymore in that top 5 slot with Treya lead because of all the health gain that happens. But I've also seen people use CLS in the 5th slot, and I've also seen people use CLS-led Rebels to actually beat Treya. There's 2 guys in my top 20 that use a Rebels team, and I go and look at their mods, and I'm like, how? How is this? I go to my dev account or my test account and I try it, and I'm just like, I can't do it. Like I try the kill order right. I mean everything, and they don't even have good mods, and they're doing it. But they're using Old Ben under CLS, so they've got CLS, R2, Han Solo, Old Ben, and then Thrawn. That's like the team I'm seeing, and they're winning. I'm finding them in the number 1 spot or number 2 spot, and so I think there's still some viability. There is one Jedi training raid team that can beat Darth Traya like wickedly, but this guy that's running JTR has really, really good mods, and he's running Jedi training Rey with BB-8, R2-D2, of course, and then Resistance Trooper and General Kenobi. And
yeah, because of all the exposes and stuff, I could say
he's got it out and really, really, really fast because he's got really great mods and because he has better than most mods. His team takes like 6 turns before you ever get one with your trail-led team, and because of that, there's quite a bit of havoc that caused in those first few turns, and then they can just target and pick apart your team pretty quickly. And yes, expose works really well against trail-led teams because trail-led teams have all of, especially with Nyla's, have all of that stack health, and she gets that protection back. So being able to chunk it down really quickly is the best policy. So I think we may see a resurgence in resistance teams for anybody who doesn't have Traya and wants to do it, because the Rex team, you really got to have like the top 10 most overpowered characters in the game maxed, and then you got to find the right combo for the right team you're going against. Whereas resistance, you just need good mods. That's it, and you're gonna choose.
All right, let's get to the next question. We'll go to you, King Felix. This is from Zeri. Question: any tips on ships or team comps to beat Stage 5 of the ship's battle? I have a feeling some of the more desirable characters will be found on there. Thanks.
So, I've been having good luck with on Stage 5 with just going tanky as hell in my starting 3 because, they start off with, they're all going to go first. They give them the turn meter boost. So, you're going to need to survive the first wave. And I don't recommend Biggs because he's all on like the protection regen. He's actually not that tanky if you're not putting target locks down. So I would go with 5s, Sunfax, and then I like to use Rex. If you have Plo Koon, you could do that. And then usually my first off the bench has been Gauntlet Starfighter to clean up the field. Now, if you have a Phantom fully reinforced, that is the first one you want to do every time coming off the bench. But and I've also been using, I think Tarkin is better in Arena, but I use Thrawn in the PvE table because he gives you the heal. So basically all you're trying to do is survive until your turn meter catches up. So if you can survive before the turn meter catches up, you can also try to use TIE Fighter Pilot in the starting 3 and try and get lucky with some dodges up front, but it's not guaranteed. But after that, basically for me, it's just been surviving. I don't know if anybody else is doing it differently because you're not going first.
Yeah, I've stopped at that point because I'm just focusing on Scion, like Scion. Then I go back and work on that. But no, I haven't really dicked around with that.
Talking Geo's work.
Oh, now you want to show up, Mike?
Yeah, blame it on Leclerc.
Formula One's more important than being on Jedi Academy. I can't do both at once.
Yeah, Leclerc.
I couldn't sit there, put my phone on mute, and watch my Formula One while I was on Jedi Academy.
Okay, in hindsight, that probably would have been a better idea.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. How are we?
Look, everybody, it's Mike.
Hello.
He just decided to show up when he wants to.
Fashionably late.
It's not fashionably late when you did on purpose.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would have been on time, but yeah, Pillock Leclerc left the track and then covered it in gravel, and they had to sweep it all, so they delayed it all.
Yeah, nobody cares.
That's not true. F1's quite popular.
Where?
Everywhere except North America, apparently.
Yes, that's correct.
But you even host a Grand Prix.
I know. The Unity Lap is 500.
It's all about capitalism. That's all.
Yeah,
Trying to get
that's true.
We're trying to get the euros.
But going back to that hard mode, tier 5, if you can beef up your geos, they can take quite a big pasting. Then throw in a pretty maxed out reinforced TIE Advanced, and you should then start cutting through everything. And what King Felix was saying, I am really appreciating and liking Gauntlet Starfighter.
Yeah, same here.
It's my second one in. TIE Advance first, Gauntlet second, clean them all up, and then just obliterate. It's such a good combo.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to wait you know what? I'm gonna give you a question just because I'm a better man.
42.
Randomly.
Oh, okay.
So this is from Hudson. He says, question: we just had one of our guild members leave because of the RNG in the game. How do you guys feel about RNG? Ooh.
I love it when it goes for me, and I loathe it when it doesn't. I mean, I'm on.
Well, this is kind of what Warrior was just saying about the AI and stuff, with some of the attacks and everything, right? So this is, I guess, just, the random number generator, which is what RNG is. I mean, sometimes it's just I scratch my head at this.
I seem to experience it more in ships than anywhere else. I already said that I'm currently running Tarkin as a capital ship. And the first thing you do is the Tarkin AoE. And the number of times where I do 0 damage on their ships and all 3 of mine are ability blocked with 2 that are exposed. And it's like, what? And then you go and look at the opposition's fleet, and you're matched. So it is an RNG thing on who goes first and whatnot. It's annoying, very annoying. Same with the single red dot twat that stays alive and then gets reinforced and then starts doing too much damage to you, sort of thing.
I blame him.
The worst part about ships is all ships have like a natural 2% dodge, which means statistically it will happen 1 out of 15 times, and yet you'll get 2 kill shots where they're down to like he said, red life, and all you got to do is a shot. You do a call to assist and both miss, which is statistically impossible, and then someone comes in like Plo, or a heal comes from Chimera, and then they're back to normal, and you have to sit there and deal with them smashing your ships again when you had a statistical anomaly that should have never occurred, but yet it happens every friggin' battle.
Yeah, it's insane.
The thing that happens to me the most is that I'll be down to the opponent just having a TIE Advanced and his TIE Fighter pilot, and the TIE Advanced is almost down, and it's his turn, and he brings in a Boba reinforcement. So I'm like, okay, let me bring in my Reaper, dispel Boba, and then I can just kill off TIE Advanced, and I'll get the turn meter advantage. And freaking Slave 1 dodges the dispel by Reaper. I'm like, how the hell does he dispel? He has a freaking taunt on him. The 2% chance is crap. It's the most frustrating thing.
Max out Cassian and bring him in instead. They can't dodge that.
Yeah, but I like that. I need something for the turn meter switch, which is why I put in Reaper.
Yeah.
So that my geos aren't ready yet, so I can't speed battle until I can't beat somebody quickly enough before they hit their ultimate. So I'm still running kind of the old lineup.
Wow. Freud was right. All right, next question to Warrior. This is from Timmy Ratio. Question: if you run geos under Tarkin, what do you put as reinforcements and in what order?
Oh, it can vary. Obviously, the best, in my opinion, is going to be anytime you're running the Executrix or Chimera to have your reinforcements basically made up of Empire ships. And the reason is, as soon as your reinforcements start coming in, you start getting the like offense up and things like that bonuses, and it makes for ridiculous hits. I mean, the Imperial TIE Fighter ship hits for like 130 on his special, and Darth Vader hits for like over 100k on his basic with offense up and stuff with potency up. So it's just weird. But I would do like TIE Advanced, the Reaper. It depends on who all you have. Plo Koon isn't a bad idea ever, because they work to kill your Sunfac, and every ship's going stealth and non-stealth and stealth and non-stealth, and they're trying to kill your damn bugs, because bugs call assist so much, and you're just like, all I got to do is break the chain. All I got to do is kill one bug, and it falls apart. So you're just desperately trying to kill one of them, because then you're going to win. But if you can't kill one of them, you guaranteed lost. So you're trying desperately, and Sunfac keeps taunting, so you're like, screw it, I'm going to target him down. He's almost dead. Plo comes in, and he's back to health and protection. And you're like, are you kidding me? This didn't just happen. So Plo in that lineup is break your phone in half frustrating. So I would definitely recommend that if it's your lineup. And then Poe Dameron is always going to be a high recommendation for me, because coming in off the bench and finishing what somebody started with a one shot, and then being able to do it a second turn in a row with another 80,000 hit, it's super powerful. He's dodgy. He's got foresight. He can daze. By the way, that is way underrated. Nobody talks about. But as long as they're target locked, and if you're doing it right, they are, his basic dazes. And that is huge, because there's so much retribution out there with either the other Executrixes or with like Boba Fett coming in, or just, the ability for the Geos to call assists. Well, if you got them target locked, them, you don't have to worry about those assist calls anymore, so it shuts down what they're so good at. So I would definitely have those four that I just mentioned: TIE Advanced, the TIE Reaper, Plo Koon, and Boba, and and Poe, and I probably have those four in that row. But don't underestimate Cassian or Phantom 2. Those two ships are ridiculous in the reinforcement. Phantom 2 helps flood the field, and that'll help you no matter what. And Cassian, if you bring him in, not only does he just wipe all their bonuses, which the buffs are real in ships now, they really are. And it's sometimes you get so overwhelmed, they got 5 ships out, and everything's got 2 to 3 buffs on it, and you're just like, what? And then you bring in Cassian, and it's all calm down, and everything disappears. And so that's fun. Plus his call to assist, if you call Darth Vader, it's like 100 to 120k on that call to assist. So you're talking about a lot of damage, almost a guaranteed ship kill with Cassian just coming in. Plus everybody else that survives is going to be neutered with all their buffs. So I don't know. There's a lot of really good reinforcements, but I know a lot of people that run the bugs under the Executrix, and it's a solid strategy. The bugs are a solid strategy, period. And I wanted to be anti-meta, so I didn't do my bugs right off the bat. I wanted to go Rebels. I was so excited, and I've been running Rebels ever since. But everybody else is running bugs, and I can tell you that's the most frustrating lineup to face in Arena. I can beat anyone easily with Rebels, but when it comes to the bugs, I have to take all 5 minutes and take my time to get a win if I'm lucky, and sometimes I lose about 50% of the time. So if you haven't invested in bugs, do it. They're worth it.
Well, there's a follow-up question also from Timmy Ratio. It says, question, is Tarkin's capital ship also supposed to get the 20% turn meter from his unique, or is it just from the ships underneath him?
Only the ships underneath him.
Okay. So there you go, Timmy. That's all you need to know about that. All right, King Felix, next question from Takedown Games. Hey, Stunner Jedi. Question, what do you need to invest into Basso for territory war offense?
She's fine at 3 stars. I did the 10 pack, and I have her at 4 stars, but really all you need is gear 11 and the Zeta. I mean, you could probably buy with gear 10 for offense if you're picking your battles wisely. And then as to who you run with her, the 2 Yodas I think are a must. And then if you can take Ezra off your Phoenix team if you're not running the Phoenix, you want to throw him in there.
Oh, yeah.
And then for the 5th, I've actually had I've tried a lot of different 5ths because I was trying to figure out the best. In my opinion, the best is a Zeta Fulcrum Ahsoka. And then after that, I'd go with Old Ben. And then surprisingly to some, Ayla Secura is a monster on that team because she brings an element to the counter, and with the tenacity boost, you'll never stun her. So, and she hits hard. She calls assists. When she calls Ezra or Grandmaster Yoda to assist for fun, there's no way a character is going to survive that. So it gives you a lot of options if you're trying to keep one of the Kenobis in a different team. I haven't played. I've thought about trying Kit Fisto in there, but mine's only gear 10, so I'm holding on with that. But I think Fulcrum Ahsoka is the best 5th character for that. I run it tankless in Arena and do just fine.
All right. Next question for you, Mike. This is from Thoka, and the question is, I'm wondering, will the old Whig / Chase with 1 random do enough damage against the Traya meta?
I don't think so. Because if you're running Traya meta, you've got a pretty good Sith squad already. I don't. Not against them. I mean, it still works against a lot, but unless you've got like god mods and a fence through the roof, I just don't think you're going to have enough. In my opinion. Mm-hmm. All right. And the ice cream van's outside.
What's that?
The ice cream van's early.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fortunately, he's not running out there going, ice cream!
No, she's working. Woof.
Wow.
Working till 10 tonight, I know.
What? You just got the whole house to yourself. No wonder you're getting to drink some tea and watch Formula One, man. You got the life right now, Mike. No daughters,
definitely.
No wife, no nothing.
It's just bliss.
No. Oh, Christ. All right, next question for Warrior. This is from Silver Fox. Question: any thoughts on new season of Clone Wars and implications for the game?
Well, yeah, I feel like this is probably the best, most well-received news in the Star Wars community in at least 2 years, maybe more. I mean, I think it's I have never seen a community get so freaking excited. And David Filoni obviously wants to be president 2020.
You remember the backlash when Clone Wars first started? How all people
yeah, because everyone was pissed that it was cartoon. It was like, oh, it's a cartoon, but like once you watch it, you're like, oh, they can do things they can't do with CGI, and they're actually doing a better job storytelling. So, I mean, and I'll give them this: the first 3 seasons, the first two seasons,
yeah,
those 2 seasons, bit lethargic. It was like, really, am I gonna seriously sit through this? And the animations actually got far better. The draw, the whatever you want to call them, the people that draw, let's call it, they did a much better job. And season 3 was insane. It was the first season that I watched. Where it was, I mean, where the Clone Wars, where he steals 5 steals the Umbaran, and there's that mass 2 season war or 2 episode war, and then in 316 where the greatest scene of all time in history for Star Wars, in my opinion, is Anakin submits Force users. You know what I mean? Like, on your knees. I mean, that scene is like my all-time greatest scene in history. So to have that come back, because it was just like abruptly cut, is ridiculously exciting. But the implications for the game is that now they actually have an excuse to do something with the clones again, because they kind of do things with stuff as it's being developed. So like the developers have even said, like, we didn't really want to build Rose and Holdo, but we were told by Lucasfilm, like, this is the movie, these are some of the characters we want you to bring into the game, and they honored it and they built characters around it. And so people can get mad at Capital Games, but that was Disney telling them, these are the characters you have to build for the game. Yeah, but now with Clone Wars coming back, there is so much potential for new characters, remakes, reworks, touch-ups, new Zetas. I mean, all sorts of stuff that they can do to make the clones viable again. Because I mean, I don't know if you remember, but when Zetas first came out, the clones were with Cody lead were the thing. They were the tits. You know what I mean? As far as like going in to phase 2 or phase 4 with Leia, and everybody was talking about them. And now, I mean, they don't even get used in territory wars, really. It's really kind of sad. So I'm excited.
Well, I've been saying, because if you look what's going on in Battlefront with the new skins coming out for all the clones and different things that are happening there, Geonosis is a new planet. I've been saying that that in Galaxy Heroes, and I've been saying this for months, that the new territory battle, next thing is going to be Geonosis. They've been tying in everything with all their different things. Now you got the launch of the Clone Wars show, you know, that lost season. And if you want to get an idea of what that it was, I think in Celebration 2017, where Filoni and Ashley were talking about Ahsoka as a character, and then they were talking about that last season of Clone Wars that he never got to finish about her story arc. You just go watch it. It's really great. They give you an idea of what's to come, because it's only going to be 12 episodes. People are wondering where it's going to be on. It's going to be on a new streaming service. So the new Star Wars Resistance show is going to be on there along with this one. So it's going to be where you're going to have to start get the streaming services and stuff. So
yeah, I hate anime. I know everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god, you don't say that," but I'm just not a fan of anime. But that Star Wars anime might be the first show to get me into anime. So maybe this is the time to decide I actually will watch it, because I'm not going to not watch the new show. Plus, I need to play Knights of the Old Republic, dude. I need to go get that 2003 game and play it, because
it's got on Xbox, man. We could just hang out and play it anytime, man.
Live, and so I mean, yeah, I need to. But that game's so old, it's not Xbox Live. But I need to get the game and play it so I can.
I don't know if it's Xbox Live, but you can get it for like $14.99 or $9.99, something like that. It's on Xbox. Because I got it for T-Money, who's like, I don't like this game. I'm like, I can't believe you made me get this game and you don't even want to see me play it. I'm going to kill you. All right, let's go to the next question. King Felix, this is from Warghoul128. Question: anyone here beat the Thrawn Mythic Tier 3, and what was your comp?
Yes, I actually just did it. I used, you obviously have a Thrawn lead. I used Vader, Emperor Palpatine, Shore Trooper, and Death Trooper. And I lost Shore Trooper toward the end, but I cleared it with the other four still with protection. Basically, I mean, Shore Trooper is just going to be there to die.
He's there to take it in a pooper.
Because they have, I think it's even like fully Zetaed with extra things on there, because they can all avoid taunt. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, as long as your Empire is pretty well maxed out, I think actually all those characters for me are Gear 12.
Yeah,
so, and then if you can try and get rid of Kane. So Sabine and Ezra go so often, and they take that extra damage from I think it's Palpatine's unique. So they almost kill themselves. So you just need to finish those two off, because that's the only damage dealers you have. And then I recommend getting rid of Kanan as fast as possible. Fracture him or Death Mark and then fracture him, and he'll be gone immediately. Because Thrawn's hits all count against the Death Mark. So you get like 4 hits on Death Mark, I think it is. And then after that, they don't counterattack, and it's pretty easy to get by.
Absolutely. Mike, next question. And guys, make sure you get your questions in. Dr. Finn is scooping them up, so go ahead and get them in if you haven't got them in now. This is the time to do it. All right, next question for Mikey.
Hello.
And this is from Darth Skywalker. You don't have to say it, you knucklehead. Darth Skywalker. Question: if you couldn't change your arena team ever again for the rest of your time you're playing the game, who would you run?
Oh. That's if you couldn't change it. I think I like the squad I'm running at the moment. I've got the Zeta on Treya's unique, so I'm running a Zeta Palps lead with the Triumvirate and Nest. But my Nest is Gear 12 with one of the new Gear 12 pieces as well, with the extra 6 speed. So I've got 298 speed Nest. And that is a fun squad, which I would like to think would last the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I suppose, unfortunately, I would have to go with the current squad, and I'm just thinking 4 Sith are always going to be there or thereabouts. So yeah, I think that would be me.
Anybody else?
Asian team, Maul lead. I would go with Maul. Evasion's always a pain no matter what it is, so I would probably go Maul. If I could keep the Triumvirate, it would probably be the Maul, Triumvirate, and Sith Assassin.
Alright, we'll talk to friend. Alright. Alright, next question. Back to the top to Warrior. This is from What Else 73. Question: how do you get past, or how long does it take to get past the fact that if you put a different fleet into your fleet arena, everyone wants to hit you and does a lot?
What's happening? What else? We talk on YouTube quite a bit, so glad he's watching and chatting with us. So, when you put something new in, until it's worn its newness, let's see, I'd say probably a couple of weeks for people to kind of get used to seeing it. The issue is if they target you early on just because it's new and they want to try it out, and they're able to beat it real easier than they're able to beat their other ships, then you'll become a permanent target. And that sucks. If what you put in is difficult for them to beat and frustrating and like break your phone in half frustrating, then they'll just go around you. And that's kind of where defensibility comes in. It's not necessarily that just because you don't drop means that you've got the best defense. It means that you've got the most frustrating defense. And so it's all about making a real frustrating team comp that makes it to where it's a puzzle that they have to figure out, and that a lot of people may not have the smarts to figure out, or if they do, it's barely a win, and so they use brute force to try and get through it. And so that's where the ships like Plo Koon come in. They're more auspicious. People don't really pay attention to them, don't understand them, and he comes in and he's taunting with extra protection, and you've got like the clone ship coming in, the one that now gets protection up and has taunt and retribution and stuff. And it just those types of ships that nobody ever used in the past are in your backup lineup are going to be the ships where they almost guaranteed don't have developed, so they can't use the lineup you have, but your lineup is super frustrating, and so they'll just go, that was stupid, I don't want to have to fight that again, and they'll go around. So really it doesn't matter. There's not like a wear-in period. It's basically for the first 2 weeks or so, everybody's going to try your fleet, and if they struggle, they'll just start moving around, and if they don't struggle, then they will target you. So yeah, it's about developing the right ships in the backup to make it frustrating for those individuals.
There you go.
Takes a big investment though, doesn't it? Because if you're going to brave running it, you need the reinforcements, and if you're going something different, then you're going against what everyone else is developing into kind of the unknown. So it is a slight leap of faith that you're going to have to take. Yeah,
there's a lot of investment in ship, and I I'm up there with the best of them. I mean, I had every ship at max development. There was nothing I could do in ships, literally zero. And then ships 2.0 came out, and it's like back at ground level 0. So, I mean, I beg the developers, beg them literally on a weekly basis for the community. So if the community wants it, trust me, I am begging for them. And I tell them we need those packs, even though they're 1,800 friggin' crystals, those packs for the ship Omegas and stuff, because the drop rate on ship Omegas is horrific. Even if you're farming for them, it's horrific. I mean, if I'm lucky, I'll get 3 or 4 a day, and most days I don't even get that much. And the events might give you 4. So you know what I mean. You're talking about 15 to 20 a week if you're lucky, which means 1 ability on 1 ship a week. So it's almost like a Zeta ability for ships, and there's just every ship instantly. There's 27 ships instantly that now need that development, and so it's crippling. So yeah, you're right. It's very difficult to decide. And I just tell people, figure out what you want in your front 3, figure out what you want in your back 4, and then only spend your reinforcements on those 4, and only spend your Omegas on those front 3 until those front 3 are max developed. Then you can kind of flip flop and go with other ships. But the Omegas should be going into your front 3, and your reinforcements obviously should be going in your reinforcements only.
Yeah, I'm currently saving up for Plo Koon. I just love what that ship does coming in as a reinforcement, and it's a ship that I've never used. So, which is the other reason why I'm gonna go into it.
All right. Let's see. Next question to King Felix. Just a stress from Rogue One question. I put a Zeta on Basso, but no other Jedi have a Zeta. I'm running Basso with Yoda's, Ezra, and GK. Which Zeta should be next?
So I haven't done Ezra's Zeta. I know Warrior has, and he preaches about how much damage that it'll bring up. So you could go with that. I do have Yoda's Battle Meditation Zeta, and it is nice to get the Foresight up with the Tenacity. And I think, if I remember correctly, it also reduces the cooldown, which is very helpful to steal the buffs and distribute them amongst the team. But depending on what else you have to put in that team, I would take General Kenobi out, because in my experience with the 4 people I've tried in the 5th slot, General Kenobi is actually the worst that I've had. He dies when Old Ben never dies for me, but General Kenobi will die. Fulcrum never dies. Ayla doesn't die. But something about Kenobi, I think he just gets targeted more than everybody else. And even with double tank, double taunt Old Ben. So I would try to swap him out. Plus with Old Ben, you get the turn meter reduction on his AoE ability block. And if you can, once you get rid of Traya, they won't even cleanse that off. But I'd probably do Ezra's over Yoda's for your Zeta. But if you have Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, I would do hers first and plug her into Kenobi's spot, because I think she's the best 5th character for that team.
All right. Let's see, next question for Mikey. Let's see here. This is from Hans Smeller. What a name. Which team should I start doing next? I'm just about to finish First Order. I've got Trooper, Nightsisters, EP, and JTR teams done.
Finished Nights. He's got JTR, Nightsisters. Just finished First Order. How are your bounty hunters? Bounty hunters are coming along quite nicely. They're required in dark side territory battles. They've got their own special events. You've always got the droid smuggling and the credit heists as well. they're a faction that I would definitely look into if you haven't already. Other than that, bolster your Empire and Rebels. Sith, I would have thought you didn't mention them, but Sith, I would expect you to, focused on, because they're always going to be there with Empire and Rebels. Meh. Bounty hunters, but I might be slightly biased. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Ewoks are great.
Little murder bears.
I've recently zeted my chirper team. No, not my chirper team. My chief chirper. And that is that does take them up a level.
Right.
I was shocked how quickly it got rid of those at things in Endor Escalation.
All right. Let's see. Next question, back up to Warrior. What are your thoughts on health and protection secondaries on mods? Is it worth it to get these like you do speed and offense?
Health secondaries?
What are your thoughts on health and protection secondaries on mods?
Well, of course that's good. I mean, every character is built up of 2 basic stats for durability, and that would be health and protection combined, and that's their total durability in the game. And a lot of the protection up type stats are based off of health, and so obviously health, can convert that way too. But healers need health, but everybody the more they have, the more hits they can take. And I guess my thought would be is just obviously I think what he's trying to get at is there's other secondary stats that maybe are more appealing, but I would say it's better to get those stat increases that are tried and true type thing. I mean, they're not the best, but they're solid. What's better than getting like 8 defense? You know what I mean? So it's like if you can get a chunk of health or a chunk of protection, then good. But health, the flat health numbers are pretty low. I mean, like a plus 300 health is like pretty common. Even if it rolls 3 times, it's like 1200 health, which is really low. But it's any of those is going to be helpful. And I wouldn't look at it negatively. I would look at it as at least it's not something else that sucks worse.
Right. All right. Let's see here. Next question. We've got King Felix from Elliot Worsfold. Question: as a new player who just unlocked Chimera, is it still worth investing in this capital ship, or is Home One a better second capital ship to invest in? I am currently running Tarkin in Arena.
So you want to invest a little bit in Chimera, especially as long as you're. I'm assuming you gear up your Thrawn because. Stop it. He gets mad whenever I talk for some reason. But you do need Chimera for, I believe it's Phase 4 Dark Side Territory battles for the special mission. So at least invest in him a little bit. It doesn't take a lot to make the Chimera usable. You probably can use it without investing, to be honest. Yeah, it's still a good capital ship, and you never know what more ships are going to come out that play to Thrawn better. So I would finish whatever you're using in Arena. That's always the caveat. You always want to focus on your Arena. But then if you have more dark side ships than just your Tarkin team, they can work in territory wars and territory battles. And then you can use all the rebels with Akbar. Unfortunately, Mace Windu is completely worthless in all aspects.
I disagree with that.
Well, I ran Endurance when Arena first came out, and I climbed just fine spamming target lock in his AoE, but it's just not as good as
it's not as good on offense. It's an awful offensive team, but like you see a lot of people using them on territory war defense because if you get the ships up there and you get his ship up there, it is a nightmare of a team to try to kill. Because it's just a reaching.
The other thing. I mean, if you do And if you're a new player, you don't have the clones maxed out because you weren't around for when they were amazing in tank. So, and you probably don't have a lot of the other Jedi, because if you go watch Warriors or RSG's videos, they're not telling you to farm and gear Plo Koon and Jedi Consular. So some of the characters there, you're gonna do Vader, you're gonna do, your Thrawn, and you're gonna do all this. But if you, as a new player, doing those characters that are only good for that fleet is not your best bet.
Next question from Mike from Fat Tony 99. Question: what is the Omega order for Jedi squads under Basso lead?
Okay, I would say Bastila Zeta is essential in that one.
Omegas.
Yeah, we're talking about
Omegas. Oh, okay. So my best, I can only go with what I've done on mine. When I geared mine up, I was on a finite number of Omegas, so I Zeta'd her lead, right? And then I had enough left to do her unique, so I went unique. I still don't have the others done yet. But I would say, sorry, I'm just clicking onto her now. Always the basic, because that's the one that's going to be used the most. And the basic there, definitely worth it. Plus 10% potency and 10% bonus damage as well. So buff duration 1 and 20% damage, deal special damage to target enemy, dispel all buffs on them and stun them for 1 turn. Okay, so I would ideally I would say basic first, then unique,
I hope you didn't
then
kill anyone
subvert, and finally rally would be the order that I would deploy them. Although I did go slightly against that, as I say, because I did the legendary battle meditation first.
Oh, we just got $20 in Canadian money from Wargo 128. It said free coffees. Well,
Woohoo!
3 months that comes in, we'll get free coffees.
I almost bought maple syrup today.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I was, it was in my hand and then I put it back on the shelf. I'm sorry, Canada.
Okay. Let's see. Next question for Warrior from Darth Skywalker. Question: how is a Nightsisters team viability in arena looking going forward?
If Jedi pick up enough traction, I could see some people trying to bring the Nightsisters back in. There are certain with Asajj Ventress lead, not Mother Talzin lead, but Asajj Ventress lead. It does actually quite well against the newest kind of Jedi meta. So, everything's in influx, and all those teams you developed at some point will probably see viability in the future. And their goal a year ago was, I don't know if you remember a year ago, but because it's kind of hard to remember so many metas ago, but the biggest problem was the old meta was beat by a new meta, and nothing in the past would work. You had to have the new meta to work, and so everybody hated it because it forced people to have to buy the new characters or get left behind in arena, and people were literally being shoved out of arena because they didn't have the newest shiny node characters. So they wanted to create a paper, rock, scissors situation where once you developed a team, there were certain teams you'd always be able to beat, but certain teams you'd lose to. So you'd have to develop multiple teams, but you would still have the ability to climb through certain teams. And the paper, rock, scissors thing, right or wrong, was their goal. And now, fast forward a year later, they have done it. They really have. It's funny, Bastila lead or Bastila, however you say it. How do you say it? Bastila or Bastila? I'm gonna say it wrong for the rest of my life because I want to totally piss my viewers off. No, I'm just kidding. So
If you want to piss them off, Warrior, call her Bastia. That'll piss them off.
Oh, yes, you hear it. Hold on.
This is like the typical packet sending time.
Okay, we're good. Continue your thoughts, Warder.
That's right. I was just saying, I think we will see that possibility, yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little hiccup. I don't know what that was. Stupid.
Did you have to top the meter up?
I mean, it just does that. I get
Nathaniel-
packets or something. It's just
Nathaniel Miller was saying that the stream started to buffer as soon as we started to mispronounce Bastila's name.
Oh my god.
CG are everywhere.
Oh jeez. All right. Let's get to the next question. Let me look here. Let's make sure everything's working. Everything's okay. Good. Let's see. King Felix, next question from Don Glass. Good morning, guys. My question is, I have a lot of Gear 12 characters and most are Gear 12. With the new plus 6-speed gear, could you tell me the priority of the tunes you would put them on? King Felix?
I think he left.
Did he?
I don't see him on the
I saw it come up saying he'd left. I was wondering whether he was caught in the CG, what's it called, blast just a second ago.
No, well then Mike.
So I'm looking at targeting Scion as the next one. I had one and I did an impulse deploy of it, and I mentioned earlier that I stuck it onto Nest. I just thought that 6-speed on one of the, is she the fastest tune in game, or is there anyone quicker than her?
No, she's like 4th, I think.
Okay. Ugh. Well, anyway, I decided to slap it onto her. I haven't regretted it so far. Next one I'm targeting is Scion. I suppose really it's back to viewing the rock, paper, scissors. Which faction do you favor the most? Is it the Sith? Is it the Jedi? Is it the Sith? Yeah. It's a very good question when you look at all the Gear 12 characters that we're all getting now. And the fact that you're scrolling 3-4 times to get to the end of all the tunes that want that one piece that you've unlocked. It's just work to where it's going to benefit you the most, and I'm going to say that the main place that you're going to notice it is an arena, and if it works in arena, then it's going to work in territory wars. Raids are a slightly different mechanic, so it might not perform as well there, but it will perform where you really do need it. I mean, the raids effectively are a bonus. You're going to get a reward just for joining the raid, and then it's down to your own goals on how you want to perform within that. But yeah, it's pick your arena squad, pick out the team tune that's going to benefit the best, or enhance the squad the best. Maybe that's better phrased.
All right. Felix, you back yet?
Yes.
Right.
I got kicked, but I'm back.
All right, so the next question is from Anthony Christensen, and the question is it possible to get a 7-star Thrawn with all Gear 8 and mediocre mods?
Ask Ranger.
Yeah. So what you want to do is I went into the thing with the mods and the low level and no omegas, and what happened was I got my butt handed to me. If you want to see the funniest thing ever in the history of this game, is go watch me try to get Thrawn with nothing for 6 hours.
It was amazing.
Until I had to finally give in. And basically just cough up and do the rest of the Omegas and some of the mods and gear and stuff. Then it was no problem.
You made a montage.
It was a montage.
What number was it that you finally kind of contemplated breaking your...
I think it was after trying 900 and... I think it was over 9,000. I don't remember.
Yeah, I just... it really annoys me that you have to go through that animation every
I
time
know, right?
you repeat it, because it's like,
like a
enough
slap in the
already. I know
face.
you smarmy git. Just get on with it.
But it just I was used to it. Not that I enjoyed it, but because we had work, and I think all of us can remember this. When the first big event was Grandmaster Yoda, and that first attempt to try to get the little bastard back in the day. Oh my god, the nightmare. Oh god, good memories.
Hey, hold on. Can I inject a question real quick? Did they do the mod update yet?
I don't think so. Did they?
Not yet.
Looking at a screenshot of plus 35 speed mods.
What?
Someone's
but that's something different.
It's so what it is the mods haven't rolled out yet. The mods 3.0 or whatever hasn't rolled out yet. What happened was there are less than 500 players out there that, when in their existing inventory, have defective mods. And when I say defective mods, I mean, we all know your mod's supposed to get like 4 stats, right?
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to get up to either 4 drops or roll ups. And so what happened was there are some mods out there that have only 3 stats,
Yes.
Even max only had 3 stats, and they didn't get the appropriate number of stats / rolls. And so CG was going to try to fix those really quick before they do mods, 3.0. And so they went ahead and pushed out a force update thing to try and fix those players' mods. And like I said, only about 500 players did this affect out of 1 million players. But those people, it didn't go right. It didn't go right at all. It gave a bunch of them a crazy amount of stats, and all that's going to get rolled back. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but they can't leave the rollout the way it is. So I don't know how they're going to handle it, because now these guys have these god mods. One account had like 4 plus 27 speed mods added to their account. So that's just nuts. So I don't know, like I said, how they're going to fix it, but it's a known issue. It was only affecting a very small portion of the general populace.
Okay. Got kind of confused for a minute.
All right. Next question of Warrior. This is from Chopper BZ. Question: aside from Nightsister and Palpatine / Sith, what are some other good counters to JTR?
Ewoks.
Yeah. Little bastard murder bears.
Yeah, they do good.
They do really good. Ugh, but such an investment, man.
It is an investment
Oh
to
my
get.
Honestly, it's not a huge investment. This is why
I'm just talking gear and
all average to gear. The only one that's like a terrible gear is Poplu. Poplu's horrible. The rest of them are just average. And 2, you only need 1 Zeta for that whole team to pop. Like, most teams have like 3 and 4 and 5 Zetas. This team needs 1. Same thing with Bounty Hunters. They're not that horrible to gear. In fact, the Bounty Hunters are relatively easy gear in comparison to other factions. And you only need Bosk as a lead Zeta, and that's it. 1 Zeta makes the team pop. 1 Zeta makes the team pop. So Ewoks aren't as bad, I think, as people make them out to be, to get them to, a gear 10 and usable.
Good point.
Side note: the Mythic Artist of War Mythic event, the 3rd tier, is doable, but in my opinion, the hardest event in the game for characters.
You talk which one? The one for Dooku?
No, it's Artist of War Mythic event. It's the one where it's for Thrawn.
Thrawn, yeah.
It's the 3rd tier, and you go against the Phoenix. And I know you use Emperor Palpatine, and they kind of kill themselves or whatever, but you got to survive while they kill themselves. And it's funny. I always lose my Shore Trooper. I can't keep that bastard alive, even with Thrawn in there, reviving his protection.
Yeah, I tried. I couldn't do it.
Is it worth going offensive instead and just not bothering with a taunt and having
you won't
spread the damage?
You won't survive.
You lose characters then.
Yeah.
I haven't had a crack yet. That's on my to-do list.
Yeah, it's all 6 Phoenix, and they're maxed to the just gills. And Happy to say I beat the Mythica or the Mythic tier of the Ground Assault this time around, though.
Hey, congrats.
Oh, that's the Dooku one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was frustrating. That is a frustrating one.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to the one today. After hearing that, shouldn't have told me it was difficult. I wouldn't have struggled. It's your fault.
Shit. All right, next question. Back to King Felix. This is from Dexatronic. Question: what is the best RJT team for Phase 1 of the Heroic Sith Raid, and how do you mod them?
It's what? Rey, the 2 droids, Scavenger, and Trooper is the best, I think. I use Hermit Yoda in place of Trooper because my Jedi Training Raid team is not that maxed out.
Well, mine is, but I still like Hermit Yoda. But that's
yeah, we just had a guy in my guild last night do 5 million with the with Trooper in there.
Sure.
But I still hate Ray. I hate Jedi Training Ray's team. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan.
Why? Don't hate.
It's all I can do, Ranger.
You just dislike.
It's all I have. It's all I have is my hatred.
Your hate makes you powerful.
Damn right. Anyway,
I feel you.
for the mods, I would assume. I mean, I just have mine modded with some basic territory war mods. I don't have arena mod. I don't switch mods around for raids. But I would assume just as much speed and probably crit damage as you can get. Maybe
exposes.
Yeah. Maybe somebody knows more than me about the modding.
Infinity, I know you're just chomping at the bit to jump in. Go ahead.
No, there's nothing wrong with what he said. You do need speed. You also want to make sure that your crit chance is really reasonably high, because if you're not critting, then you're not going to be able to get the exposes up. So you need to make sure that your characters have some kind of crit damage, or a crit chance as well. The only other thing that I've seen, so I know that Scavenger Ray and Resistance Trooper is the one that's been shown a lot that has a lot of damage. One that I've seen that does really well also is Visas Mar as the 5th with Resistance Trooper and then the other 3. So Resistance Trooper with Visas Mar is another combo. Now that she's free to play, accessible, I know more people are slowly starting to get
4 or 5
her.
months when you farm her free to play, then you can use her in that too.
I got her.
That's the team I run.
You did not go free to play, King Felix. Stop it.
Visas, I bought like 2 or 3 things out of the shipments. I was getting 4 every day when they had it at like 8.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting 4 every single day. And I didn't buy the packs for Visas either.
I've been like refreshing her hard node too in order to speed her up. Her and Bosk right now. So, well, I stopped right now, but I was previously.
I don't believe you.
I stopped because I'm trying to save up crystals for whenever this update stuff hits.
Well, that's true. Now, guys, get your questions in. If you have questions for the panel, make sure you get them in. Finn's scooping them up. So this is your opportunity to ask the experts. And by experts, I mean everybody other than me and Finn. And Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Well, I mean, I'm just being real, man. You know, I mean, we're kind of retarded.
So basically just ask Warrior everything.
Well, yeah. Well, you and Warrior, because...
We do.
I mean, you know, I mean, yeah. I mean...
I'm just a simple... I'm like they say in South Park, I'm just a simple blacksmith. I don't know nothing about no door code.
Oh, God. All right. But yeah, if you got questions, now's the time to get them in, guys. Are we out of questions, Finn?
We have some fun questions that I was saving up, so we can start those.
Oh, can I ask a question first?
Is it a legitimate question?
It is. It is a legitimate question.
You said that before. All right, let's see.
No, it is. It is. So I've got a BS Jedi lead, who's Zated. I've got Grandmaster Yoda and Ezra, and neither of them have a Zeta. Do I put it onto Ezra for for hits and then save up for Grandmaster Yoda, or do I put it onto Grandmaster Yoda to preserve them, keep them going with the foresight and whatnot? Which order?
Well, are you having trouble staying alive?
I don't know yet. This is for the Sith raid. I'm going into the Sith raid tonight. Tonight I won't have the Zeta ready. Huh?
Are you planning on phase 1? Yeah.
No, phase 2. BS Jedi.
Oh, I'd probably go with Ezra's then.
Ezra over Grandmaster.
Yeah, if you were gonna use him in phase 1, Grandmaster's battle meditation.
You must.
Nice, because it'll you can put all the foresight up before he does his cooldown increase, so it keeps his annihilate further apart. But I haven't used Jedi yet in phase 2, so I would say probably Ezra. Plus, you get more out of Ezra Zeta than you do Grandmaster Yoda's, in my opinion. He's got a ship. He can go in Phoenix. He can go in Jedi.
Yeah, my Sabine's already got a Zeta, so yeah, that would bolster my Phantom too, even though I've just dropped it off my bench. It'll work somewhere.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
There's a couple questions now.
Yeah, Fat Tony 99 has a question. We'll go to Warrior question. What's the hardest Jedi to gear?
General Kenobi. How come he doesn't know this? No, I'm just kidding. Definitely General.
How dare you?
Definitely General Kenobi. He's the greatest, worst thing you could ever achieve, because it's like, yay! I earned 10 months of gearing! Yay! When you unlock him. He's horrible. He's absolutely horrible. In the low-end gear, he's horrible. In the mid-range gear, he's horrible. In the high-level gear, he's horrible. In Gear 12, he's horrible. He is painful all the way through. When you complete him, you'll never look at gearing other characters the same. You'll look at someone that has, 4 stun cuffs, 4 stun guns, and 4 Carbantis and go, meh, not too bad. You know what I mean? After him, he puts a new perspective on things. He's the absolute worst.
He totally is. Next question from Darth Skywalker. I'm gonna go to Mike. Question: How would a pure Galactic Republic fleet do in Arena? It wouldn't.
A Galactic Republic. So Galactic Republic is the Mace lead, isn't it?
That is correct.
So
Clones Jedi.
So basically, it's a fleet designed to time out. It doesn't really have enough firepower in it, does it? Because Poe's not Galactic Republic.
No. The only time I got that team to work was when you can pair him with the Imperial TIEs, both the Advanced and the TIE Fighter, and spread the target lock. Because if you spread the target lock to, and this was in the old days where there were 5 ships, but if you spread the target lock to all of them, you can just constantly use his AoE, and you'll take out the entire team at the same time. But it definitely doesn't work with 3-on-3, and it definitely doesn't work anymore with the Thrawn and Tarkin both being, I'll say, superior.
Yeah. The Galactic Republic one just seems to be a defensive, take loads and loads of damage or soak it up sort of squad rather than deliver it. Yeah.
I just got a 19 secondary speed mod.
Whoa! Very nice.
I got a 7.
Well, I always see the posts on Facebook where people are like, just did the event and I got myself a 16 and a 19.
This is the first
this is amazing for me.
But let me just say this. I wanted to throw the game on. I just wanted to quit the game yesterday. So I've invested in all these gold mods. Every time I roll top stat, I roll, it says 5, it stays 5. And I'm just like, damn it. And so yesterday I was with Finn and I got all the blue mods from the event and everything. I'm like, okay, let me just roll to level 6. 3 to 13, 4 to 12, and that's just one. It's like, okay, let me get this right. I
just got a
invest 3-something
15.
million in gold mods and get nothing.
I
I
can't
take a blue
believe it.
mod and I get speed all over the place.
It's crazy. So I did those events that are sitting in there, the Thrawn mythic event and the other one with whatever against the droids and the Geonosians and stuff. And I got a 15 speed secondary and I got a 19 speed secondary. I can quit the game effectively today. The positive energy is gone now.
Warriors beat the game. You heard
You
it,
have
folks.
your pinnacle, warrior.
Yep, that's the pinnacle.
It is all downhill from here.
Oh god! All right, Cone Carver has a question. It's for everybody. How many Zetas do you have? Oh my god! I think I got 29 Zetas, 30 Zetas, something like that. I don't remember.
I just
I have
looked up.
28 with one in the bank.
Less than
I'm-
warrior.
28? I don't know. Yeah, everyone has less than Warrior, who has like 900.
I'm 7 behind our lead. Our lead's got 50. I've got 43, and I'm about to deploy 44th.
I have 35.
And Warrior has 900. Okay, there we go. Mike from Nathaniel Miller, who would be a good 5th person for a Geonosian team in Territory Wars?
Who would be a good 4th?
There's only. Is there 4? Yeah, there's 4. Now good 5th for the Geos.
For the
You forget about
Yeah,
okay.
Poggle, Sunfax, Soldier, and Spy, and
who would I put in? You got the buffs, you got the assists.
You got the old man.
Yeah, Poggle's your lead, isn't he? He's the only leader out of them all.
Mm-hmm.
So, Poggle, I think I might. I think I'd be cheeky and just slap in a Hermit Yoda.
no,
Just to
Wampa.
What? Oh, of course, Wampa. Yes, 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 Wampa. Womp womp womp.
Hermit Yoda, so you can call more of the bugs to attack.
There you go.
See, that's why. Yeah, I mean that Hermit Yoda. Yeah. I'm swinging around here, aren't I? But Hermit Yoda, as long as they stay alive, like you say, he's gonna dish out his thing and just get them all group attacking. Lots of assists.
All right. Next question. We'll go to Warrior Takedown Games. Question for the panel. Who does everyone like as a 5th for Arena Trail League Triumphant Trooper team? And who would you pick for the 5th? Who do you like as that 5th slot, Warrior?
Well, there's a debate raging in my Discord chat as we speak about that, because a lot of people are dogging on Thrawn because he's not Sith, so he doesn't get the cleanse, and I see the logic in that. But I actually like Thrawn the best because sure is just like a timeout for one of the triumvirate, and you get to determine who gets to be the naughty and sit in the corner. The other thing I like about it is if you have his Zeta ebb and flow, the additional tenacity and everything, it's really hard to stun him and stuff and apply debuffs anyway. So because of that, he doesn't need a cleanse, and he cleanses himself anyway. So he rarely gets debuffed, and when he does get debuffed, he cleanses himself. And so because of that, their argument, it's a little weaker than it could be. And like I said, Thrawn just says, hey, we're going to make it a 4 versus 4 team. The AI doesn't use it the best on defense because it's probably going to fracture someone that you wouldn't have targeted on offense. But I like that with Sith Trooper. I, for the first time ever yesterday, put in a Traya lead because we have a lot of Jedi now, and I just want to frustrate the Jedi a little. So I put in the Triumvirate with Traya lead, Sith Trooper, and Thrawn. And I figured because we have so many Emperor Palpatine-led teams that I'm going to, wake up and I was going to be out of the top 20. I just assumed it. I woke up and, it's been 15 hours since payout, and I am sitting in 4th place, which means one person bumped me and everybody else has just left me alone. So
No.
Got to be a decent. It's got to be a pretty decent team because it hasn't dropped to 20 like other teams I've put in. I mean, people do target me if they can. if they think they can beat me, they do.
All right, next question. We'll go to you, King Felix, from Anthony Christensen. Question: what would be the minimal requirements to achieve 7-star Thrawn? Oh boy.
Well, Ranger, as a somewhat expert upon watching your attempts, I would say, I mean, usually what you do for events is gear 9. Hopefully, you, if you have like, what I like to do is put 3 at the lowest level, and then you pick the best 2 characters out of a team for events like this, and you bump up a couple of the other, the more important characters, I would say. Like, so I think the best character in a Phoenix team in the game as a whole is Ezra. So if you're gonna bump one character up to try and help you get through the event, bump up Ezra. He works in Phoenix. He works in Jedi. He works in Rebels. He has a ship. His Zeta is not terrible. It's actually, it helps him deal quite a bit more damage. I think it's 50% more damage. But Gear 9 with decent mods, if you want to switch your arena mods on there, you can probably do it with the whole team at Gear 9. And other than that, it's just figuring out what, the kill order. I like to take out the Death Troopers first. That's just me. And then use Hera's, I think it's backup plan. Is that the one where she revives?
Yes.
Yeah, use that on. It's going to end up being used on Kanan. You just have to time it right, because he's going to get killed when he taunts. But other than that, you can just go back in the RSG archives and watch Ranger do it and see how not to do it. And
you try to get away with really, really minimal stuff. It does not work.
Ranger was in there with like gear 6.5. I can do this. No. No.
Protection Mermection. I don't need that.
Do they have to be level 85?
Yeah, they were all 85, but I did not want to invest the gear and stuff, and I was like, I could do this. Nope.
I had a couple of goes this morning on my alt account, which is a mishmash of gear level 7 to gear level 8, level 82 Phoenix, and I just bumped them all to 82. Yeah, I need a credit heist. I need a couple of credit heists to stand any chance of getting a 7-star Thrawn this time round. All
right. It's from Stoner Jedi. This is you, Mike. Question for Shit's PvP. If I'm going to go bug with Gear 11, or if I'm going to go bugs, will Gear 11 be enough, or do I have to go Gear 12? No one is running Akbar Geos in my shard.
It's interesting that no one's running it. Has anyone had... Is he saying that he has... Oh, okay. So I'm thinking here that everyone is frantically working on their bugs to get their fleets ready. Gear 11 should do fine. I mean, you're doing the right thing, I think, by, as long as you got the Omegas there to deploy. My own thing is that I struggle more, it seems, with getting Omegas now than I do with Zetas. But yeah, anything and everything that bolsters them. So he's already going to be putting the 5-dot mods onto them. He's probably not using them anywhere, so you can really throw any kind of 5-dot level 15 mods that you did at the beginning and then wished you hadn't. They all go onto them, bolster them up. And then it's a case of working. The trouble you're going to have, I would think, especially after what Warrior said earlier about campaigning for the packs to come back, is your ability Omegas. Because ideally you want them all maxed. Mine aren't fully maxed yet. I think I've still got one ability on each one, and I'm deliberating on who to give it on to, because they're all good. They all increase stuff. One of the things to focus on is the evasion? They get a boosted amount of evasion, and it's increased by the number of geos in the fleet at the time.
Yeah, they each have a unique. It's like there's the basic and the unique. The unique is what you want to max out. It costs 20 omegas, and you want all 3 of theirs. Even if the ships aren't maxed, even if your pilots aren't maxed, if that unique is maxed on those 3 ships, you can go in and slaughter basically everyone. The only time you're going to lose is if you're going against another Geo team, and then it depends on who's got more development as to who's going to probably come out on top. So if you're not facing any Geos, then throw them in now, and you're going to slaughter pretty much everybody. Make sure you have Phantom 2 as your first reinforcement maxed out. Cassian works great. TIE Advanced. Bring in a bunch of those types. But the thing with TIE Advanced in the backup is his real shtick is that he comes in and does mass damage. He doesn't do that under Admiral Akbar. No, I don't think people realize that. He doesn't, because he gets no form of offense up like he does with the Chimera or the Executrix. So there are better options in the back 4 when you're running Admiral Akbar lead with the Geos.
All right. Question to you, Warrior, from Draw Skywalker. Question: should I take several teams to Gear 11 or a couple to Gear 12?
Several teams, Gear 11.
Yeah, I 1000% agree with that. King Felix DB has a question. What level do my bugs need to be to make a switch? I have both ships and character 7 stars. Working on gearing them up. They are Gear 10. Work with them to Gear 11 and Omega them as well as I get them. What level do his bugs need to be to make a switch? Felix, did he fall off again?
Nope, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go let my dogs out. So for the Geonosians, to make a switch. So if you're talking about just making a switch, I would do it now.
Yeah.
With whatever they are at, and if you perform worse in arena, then obviously it's not time yet. But there's no you're not getting a penalty if you go if you go to Geonosians. It's not like switching mods around. It doesn't cost you anything to go try out the Geonosians. Maybe they destroy all your opponents and you get the glory that you seek. But if not, then you just go back to your other team and keep gearing them, because if you're gonna be dedicated to fleet like I'm not, then you're going to want to put them to Gear 12 anyway, with all of their omegas and reinforcements. So I would try them incrementally. Try them now. If they work, awesome. If not, put a couple more, put a gear level on all of them, or maybe some omegas that you can squeeze onto them, and then just keep going until you find when they work. I don't know personally, because I don't run them in my Geospies. I think Gear 6. So.
All right. Let's see. Mike, last question. That's from DB as well. Question: when do you think mod slicing will come out? I have been stockpiling, and now my mods go to inbox. Before announcement, I sold them. Now I wonder if I should focus on characters until release.
See, I'm in a very similar position.
Yeah.
What I've been doing is just selling all the greys.
Yeah, I'm out of greys to sell.
Yeah, there is a caveat to that. I sell all greys except for crit damage triangles, speed arrows, and also I don't have many offense arrows, so I'm holding on to a couple of those. But otherwise, and what I do as well is I filter. So sell all your 3-dot greys. Yeah, you're not going to do anything with those. Mod slicing is only on 5-dot mods, I believe. Yep. So you can clear out your 3 dots, you can clear out your 4 dots as well on your greys, which should open up some space for you and maybe get rid of the annoying red little number that's flashing on your inbox all the time. In regards to when, I'm pretty sure I saw something about them loading out stuff in preparation for next week. Maybe I misread that, but I'm pretty sure I saw It is next week. Yeah.
It was a post by Top Hat on the 19th saying that it'll be like the credit decrease is going to be released with the content update coming out next week. So
okay, so it'll be.
It didn't say
released
mod slicing in particular, but it's a likelihood that they'll be tied together next week.
So, so I'd say out next week, fixed by Christmas.
All right.
I would just project that it's probably not going to be next week.
Yeah. All righty then.
This week.
Let's get to some fun questions and then we'll close it out.
You jumped in this week.
Yeah. Tim Riccio says, question, can you get Smithy back more often to do your shows? Well, I can say that last night, actually, Smithy D was available for a little bit. He came and jumped on Battlefront 2 with us. His schedule's changed, so, I mean, Smithy's always welcome back here. Anytime, any place that he wants to be on, he has an open invitation. I just think his schedule doesn't permit him now to be here at this time, just because of what he's got going on. So that's, but Smithy knows he's more than welcome. We love Smithy. You know, so did a little Battlefront with him last night, and hopefully we can get him on here on the Jedi Academy some more, but we'll have to see what his schedule permits. Cone Cobra, a question for Batman. What do you think about Formula 1 racing as Ranger and Ranger beating Zeta Warrior at arm wrestling match? It's gonna happen because I'm Batman. There you go. Fat Tony questions. How many attempts will it take Ranger to clear Artist Award Mythic event this time around? Well, last time I cleared it all in one try, so people were disappointed. Maybe I need to suck more this time, guys. I don't know.
Do it without mods, Ranger.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Stanley Reyes says, question, am I kind of a big deal now that Simon Pegg has read my comment on IGN? I don't know. Anybody?
I'm going to say
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
Wrong franchise, but yes.
No. He was in Star Wars.
Our plot. Yeah, he was on
Star Plot.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah. He loves
so
Star Wars.
so he's done both. Cool.
Yeah, him and Nick Frost did that little C-3PO R2-D2 skit in the desert. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's pretty funny.
For Warrior,
I just want to share really quick because Warrior shared his mod. I'm going to share my good luck. I just got rank 8 in Heroic Sith and got 3 full pieces, 1 Gear 12 and 2 purple. Not 12 plus, but just Gear 12. So I got 3 full pieces just now from rank 8.
Wow.
Haha.
I've never got one. What's that like?
It feels good. Continue.
You know, Finn, next time you want to share something, don't.
Am I the only one with James Brown going through my head at the moment?
Come Cobra, question. I just got 315 speed and 114 speed mod from the event. How about now? How about now, Warrior?
I think I got 9 once.
How about now?
4 that rolled good for him. He needs to go wash. Yeah, he's dirty. It's absolutely dirty.
And Ranger, there was a 4th purple that I saw at the bottom. That
Shut up, Finn. Nobody likes you.
This is like the greatest rewards ever.
For real, right? Tim Better, Infinity Note, Spaceman Tim. Okay.
Is he Spaceman Tim?
Question, why is it Tits on the stream today but is lurking in the chat? I don't know. Finn, what's up with that?
She always lurks in the chat. She listens to us for Jedi Academy. She said she's sitting there with her coffee and her notepad.
And of course, you know, Tits is always welcome to be on here as well, but she's usually busy, so that's okay. She's a busy person. Let's see, next question. Kazakage, too easy. Question, Ranger, will you be upset if they bring in the... Oh, for Christ's sakes. The Eternal Twins before Revan. Did they put you up to that, Kazakage? You know what? We're not skipping that question.
But the answer is yes.
Come Cobra, question. If you could Dutch oven anyone from the panel, oh my god, who would it be? Well, I'm going Finn.
I'm going to go with Finn's Porg.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Anybody else, Mike?
Finn with the pork?
Oh,
There's
two for
there's a
one.
theme going here.
Yeah.
I don't like this theme.
Yeah. Well, Finity will allow you to respond, but after Warrior. Warrior, what are you going with, my friend?
I would never do that.
Come on, Dutch Devin, Finn, Porg,
Nice.
say it. Do it.
Fine, you.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
And I would hold the blanket down the whole time.
Well, at least I'll be nice and covered with love before I burn to death.
Peter Griffin wearing a spaceman suit scenario.
Right. See?
Yeah.
Science. Finn, who would you pick?
Myself, because none of you deserve
Oh,
it.
stop it. God.
I hope Finn doesn't do that, like, as a nightly thing before he goes to bed.
It's character building.
That's right.
Be like the movie, what was it, Molly Shannon and Will Ferrell, the movie Superstar, where she would hold her
I know.
fingers under her armpits and then smell them.
Oh, that's so great. All right, last question. Tim Beddard. Question: what Zeta does each panel member regret most? I have been lucky in this regard, but does anybody have a Zeta they regret?
So I think about this a lot, because I have some Zetas that I did at the time, and they seemed like good ideas, but now, reflectively. So obviously, I did Commander Cody's, and that was good for tank, but it's not good anymore. And I've said before, I did Sidious's Zeta, but I actually don't regret that one because it allowed me to get first in the Heroic Rancor every single time, which really sped up my gear progression. And then Finn's is kind of obsolete with Ray. And then I got drunk and did Krennics, so that's what I'm going to go with.
All right. Anybody else on the panel? A Zeta they regret most?
See, I was thinking about Phasma, because Phasma promised a lot and didn't quite deliver to make First Order viable, but is a great second squad kind of makeup on there. So at the moment, I think the Zeta that I use the least is probably Cody.
Oh, that's so funny because that's mine. I was like, I'm not doing clones. Everybody's doing clones. I'm going to be countercultural, blah, 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 bull crap, lying to myself. And they were just killing it in the raid. And I was just like, no. And I kept developing other teams. And then finally, after like 6 months, I started developing that team. And I started doing their Omegas and finally put Zeta on Cody. And it was like a week after I Zeta'd Cody, the whole synergy with other teams took off and the clones died. I literally have never used a Cody lead in the Heroic AAT, which was the whole point. And I've never used him anywhere else in the game. My clones are completely unused, and I put that Zeta on and never got use out of it, not once.
It's a tough one.
Qui-Gon Jinn's Zeta is now pretty useless.
Yeah.
There's two better Jedi leads. You could argue that old Ben's lead is almost as good.
Yeah, but see, if you got use out of the Zeta, then I feel like it was worthwhile.
It was useless.
I have a Savage Zeta that is pretty useless now, but back then it was used a lot. I actually used that for months and was happy, but every Zeta I've done, all 54 of them, have had purpose for a period of time at a minimum, if not still usable. The one I never got to use was Cody, ever. And it's wasted, just sitting on him.
That sounds...
Just wait for the new Clone Wars series.
I never even finished his Omegas on his abilities. He got a Zeta with no Omegas.
Clone Wars saved will save you, right? The Warrior.
Hopefully.
All right. That's all the questions we have for today. So this is where we're going to wrap up and let everybody pimp their stuff. Warrior, where can folks check you out at?
YouTube /Warrior Presents. There you go.
And make sure you request lots of roster reviews from him. He loves them.
What are those?
That's what I keep telling Finn every day, and he's like slaps me violently, and it's like we'll do it. I'm like, oh god.
Because we have Grande. There's nothing we can do.
When you have a Grande, it's so bad. Mike, anything you want to pimp?
Yeah, I've got a channel, mikehunt.swgoh. I'm gonna put up later on how to take on a BS Jedi
Get spit it out.
squad. My strategy is to have 2 Sith die, and then you're good.
All right. Anything or anyone you want to shout out, King Felix?
Yes, I would like to give a couple shout outs. We recently did a little guild merger, split, disintegration, and rebuild. And I'd like to welcome MJ and Shadow Veil to the Bravehearts. A couple RSG frequent flyers that are coming aboard.
Okay. All right.
Hey, congrats on the whole Braveheart thing. I think that's pretty dope. I know all the background. That's really cool, and best of luck to you guys, man.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. It's been we dropped like 30 mil GP in 6 hours, having to come back.
All right, let's see here. And Dr. Finn, now for our channel, we have the new mod video you just put out. You want to pimp?
Sure. So with all the mod changes, I put out a video that gives you the 5 tips that you can do in order to prepare for the upcoming update. That includes the mod slicing as well as the loadouts. So you can watch that and start preparing yourself for it.
All right. And you can find that where, Finn?
On the RSG channel, the one that you're on. So make sure that you hit the subscribe, and then you can get notifications when we put out those new videos.
That's right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Not just our channel, guys, but all these guys. They take their time to come here, answer your questions, so supporting them back is a great way of saying thank you. So support them, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff for each of their channels, for their videos and things, and do the same thing for us. We do have the new Patreon thing we started. Finn, do we have that updated with all the tiers? And
we started the tiers in the Discord, and this weekend is going to be setting up the Patreon with the tiers in there.
Okay,
so it'll be done by Monday.
Yeah, and then tonight we will be doing the mature stream, so you can check that out. We will also tomorrow have the D&D campaign at 5 p.m. Eastern, so we'll be continuing that as well. And then next week we start right back into the same old. So, but yeah. If you haven't joined our Discord, guys, please do. We have a great community of over 1,000 people that are in there. Great group of people to help you with your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions and things of that nature, and just, have a good time hanging out with some really great folks. So I think that's it for us today. So if you do have more questions, just drop them into our Discord. That's what it's there for. So on behalf of myself, Dr. Finn, Medicine Warrior, Mike, Felix, and of course Warrior, thank you all for being here today. Have a great rest of your Saturday and weekend. If we don't see you until Monday, we will. But if not, we'll see you tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow for the D&D campaign. Everyone have a great rest of your day, and we will holler at you later. Peace.